Okay, welcome back to members of 121 Community Church in Grapevine, Texas. Their ongoing study in the Principles of Ethics by Borden Parker Bowne, published in 1892. We're going to take a look at, we've been looking at the dialectic of righteousness, and we're going to take a look at the ethics of family, and family is the mediation between individual and social ethics. It runs from individual to family and then to social ethics. So family is the mediation between individual and social ethics. So family as mediation plays a very important role in the individual acquiring value formation and the individual acquiring the recognition of practical needs in community and instruction in really understanding moral law and moral reality. So family plays a very significant role. Let's begin with block 1. It's going to be pages 231 to 247. It's going to be chapter 9. It's our penultimate lesson. There are 10 chapters in this manuscript. We've got one lesson to go on social ethics after this that will conclude the book. So this is our penultimate lesson. Let's take a look at block 1. We'll take a look at family and the acquisition of value formation. Family is instrumental in value formation. The family is a necessity of human development. It is a significant form of human morality. It possesses a sign-like value. Family as an institution secures moral development for persons. Now, the specific concepts abbreviated under the sign of family are love, patience, and mutual forbearance. Unselfish living is the category that abbreviates all family values. Now, the family is instrumental in the recognition of the needs of others within humanity. The self elevates the concept of marriage to one of moral nature. Specific ideal aspects include, says Bowne, union is permanent. That union is based on affection, not just passion. Consecration is mutual. Relationship must not conflict with the notion of normal relation within community. And there should be freedom of choice and action within the family. So if we take a look at note 3 here, we've got value formation plus need recognition equals family united in ideal social relation. The assistance of society is needed for the family. That includes recognition by society. And here's the key point. The family order should participate in the larger divine order of existence. So we participate in the social because we participate in the divine order of existence. So family is ordered according to the divine. So that larger system of eidos ideals of ethical morality that help us shape a system of existence, family must be aligned with that same systematic order, that same ethical order. Let's move on to take a look at block 2 and take a look at family and practical demands. Under obligation and sanctification, demands upon the family vary with time and space. Binding moral force can only be acquired through free choice and action. So moral unity must be acquired through freedom in choice and in action. And the true moral aim of the family must be the well-being of all. And that's through alignment with divine order. That's the way that the family sanctifies itself, by alignment with the divine order. It's always about imprinting the natural with the moral form for Bowne. It's always that imprint. We imprint individually, we imprint the heart with Christ, we imprint the mind with Christ, and as a family we imprint with the moral form, the moral Christological form that will imprint the order of the natural order of family. Now under note 2, unification as the ideal, the marriage union should be permanent, sanctity of marriage must be maintained, a division of labor unfolds within the family based on the practical necessities of life. And that takes us on to the summary of Note 3, Block 2, Note 3. Obligation, sanctification, and unification are the ideal values that underlie practical demands within the family. All matters should be settled by agreement between rational persons, mutual concession, and willingness to compromise. The only true authority in family is right reason, which is in alignment with the divine order. And that's true for all of Bowne's ethics. The only true authority, the only real authority, is right reason in alignment with divine order. That's the only true authority, the only real authority. That takes us on to Block 3. So, value formation and recognition of practical needs and demands leads to the reality of life of family. Remember, the posited reality. The realm of positing is the real for Bowne. It leads to the real life of family. The family that is ordered according to the ideal of the divine order of all existence. So life of family. The family introduces new souls into being, says Bowne, with a moral ideal which needs to be realized. The life of family also needs the larger life of society within which it participates. So under life of society, society equals the community of persons. We could use community rather than society. Human action is both individual and social. Social action is working together under the formal moral forms of law. That ideal substructure is that which inspires us to work together within the dialectic of righteousness, forming practical participation inspired by the theoretical moral forms of law, that theoretical model that we construct as our ethical eidos ideas, which becomes what Bowne calls, remember, a causal unit. Our posited system becomes causal unit. It is a self-actualizing causal unit. Remember, his metaphysics runs parallel with this ethics. So that ideal ethical system is a causal, self-actualizing causal unit, actualized within the realm of spirit, which is the dialectic of righteousness. And we participate in the dialectic of righteousness individually, mediated by family, and in social relation. Those are the three moments of the dialectic of righteousness. The moral plane of righteousness includes individual ethics, family ethics, and social relation ethics. Family mediates between individual and social. So as a very organized structuring of this manuscript, we looked at moral insight, which led to obligation and systemization, which led to practical positing, which was, remember, phronesis measure, and praxis choice. That put us on the plane of the dialectic of righteousness. And we've learned now that the dialectic of righteousness moves from the individual through family to social relation. And our final chapter is going to be on social relation. This is the penultimate lesson. It's lesson chapter 9. Chapter 10 will address the final phase of the dialectic of righteousness, which is going to be social relation. But we understand here that family plays an extremely important role, because we are bringing forth new beings into existence. The family is bringing forth new beings into existence. And along with that is the instruction to learn about value formation and to realize the ideal. There is an ideal essence to be realized that becomes part of the family goal. And then along with value formation, the individual acquires that ability to perceive the practical needs of humanity as a whole. The family kind of functions as a microcosm to help the individual understand the macrocosm of society. It's a learning environment for moral instruction concerning value formation and the recognition of the practical needs of humanity. That becomes an understanding of the ideal or the real that really constitutes the life of the family, that underlying real, that realm of the posited ideal. So all of this works together right in the middle of the plane of the dialectic of righteousness. Family is right there in the middle as the mediation between individual ethics and social ethics. So it plays in this very short chapter. Bowne addresses an extremely important mediation. So don't let just the short number of pages deter you from understanding that family plays the role of mediation, plays an important, hugely important role. And when social moral environment fails, that's a failure at the level of family to mediate the ideal that needed to take place. So our historical reality that currently has morals flipped upside down, and we wonder what has happened to our existence, it goes back a few years to failure at the level of family to realize the moral ideal in Jesus Christ, and to help individuals learn value formation, Christological value formation, and to recognize through the filter of Jesus Christ the practical needs of society. And all of that constitutes real life of family, says Professor Bowne. So we get, in a very brief chapter, we get critically important information on the mediation of family between individual ethics and social relations. But your recall triad would simply consist of value formation, practical recognition, and life of family. Or I should say life of family as mediation. That's a better way to say it. Value formation, practical need recognition, and life of family mediation. There's your recall triad. We're going to wrap this one up pretty short, so it's not going to be a long lesson or a long lecture. We're going to wrap it up. That's going to give us Chapter 9, pages 231 to 247, on the important role along the plane of the dialectic of righteousness of the mediation of family between individual ethics and social relation.